Milestone has long been known for its innovative IP video management platforms that are reliable and proven in over 50,000 installations around the world. Now, Milestone is once again changing the game with the new XProtect Smart Client 5.0, which provides more functionality and better usability than ever before, all to improve your experience and efficiency. The new 5.0 version of XProtect Smart Client is a further enhancement of Milestone's easy-to-use client application for integrated video access and surveillance control, designed for Milestone XProtect IP video management platforms. The new XProtect Smart Client introduces an array of exciting features that will help you perfect your operation. For example, the updated and adaptable user interface makes the navigation and use of the application easier than ever. Overlay buttons give you the ability to intuitively control cameras, camera-integrated devices, and other integrated systems directly from the camera view. The new independent playback function enables you to investigate incidents instantly while still monitoring live video. And last but not least, the Sequence Explorer is an industry breakthrough that provides unparalleled overview of recorded video. The intuitive user interface that has become the hallmark of Milestone's Smart Client has been further enhanced in the new 5.0 version by a more streamlined user interface with a much slimmer title bar and toolbar that leave more space for the camera windows. Smart Client 5.0 also gives you a new way of managing and navigating between the different panes in the side panel. In Smart Client 5.0, you manage your control panes through a set of pane icons beneath the side panel, where the icons enable you to open the different control panes while giving you a quick overview of which panes you've got open. Also new is the capability to resize control panes that contain lists of information like the view pane. This gives you a better overview of the information in the system. And if you need to work with more controls than are seen in the side panel, just use the scroll bar to display the other ones. To further optimize the application to fit the specific needs of different operators and skill levels, the new Smart Client 5.0 lets you manage the available control panes. This is done through a new Options function, available as a part of the new toolbar. You can adapt the Smart Client to fit your personal needs in a number of different areas. This includes general application behavior, availability of panes and special functions, keyboard shortcuts, and more. Let's start with personalization of the panes that we just discussed. As you can see here, you can control which panes will be available to you in the different modes. As a part of the general application options, you can control the overall look and feel of the Smart Client, including camera title bars, display of current time in the title bar, and grid size between camera windows, just to mention a few. The next set of controls manage the availability of some of the new functions in Smart Client 5.0, including independent playback, use of overlay buttons, and so on. In addition to these settings, you can also define joysticks and keyboard shortcuts for frequently used commands, as you know from earlier versions of the Smart Client. You can also select the language you want for your Smart Client among the 20 languages currently supported. The ability to adapt the user interface to specific user needs not only makes their work more efficient, but the time and cost needed to train new operators can also be reduced. You can also run the Smart Client in a full-screen mode that only shows the essential camera views, and all unnecessary information is hidden. Now, having walked you through some of the general usability enhancements, I would like to introduce you to more exciting new functions in the Smart Client 5.0. Let's start with the new overlay buttons that introduce a new intuitive way of controlling events, output, cameras, camera-integrated devices, and other integrated systems directly from the camera view. The buttons appear when you mouse over a specific camera position so as not to interfere with the camera views during normal conditions. The overlay buttons allow you to link actions to a specific camera view and thereby create an intuitive and logical working environment. This speeds up your response time and reduces the training needed for new operators. You manage overlay buttons in the setup mode, where you can add overlay buttons to any camera position with just a few operations. The new Overlay Button pane contains all the actions that you can add to a view. This includes activation of speakers, events, output, control of PTZ cameras, and so on. Just as with cameras, you can add overlay buttons to a view through a simple drag-and-drop operation. Let's add an output operation where we can open a door through a click on an overlay button in one of the camera views. You can place the button anywhere in the camera position and resize it, as well as edit the button text. The application has an intelligent grid function that helps you place the buttons in a tidy way. You see this clearly when we add a second button to the camera position. The grid helps you resize the buttons and get the icons nicely aligned. When you are ready with the definition of the buttons, they are available for immediate use in live mode. Another new feature in Smart Client 5.0 is the independent playback of specific cameras, a feature that allows you to investigate incidents fast without losing track of what's happening in real time. With independent playback, you can access available recordings for any camera in live or playback mode by a simple click on the independent playback icon, which appears for the specific cameras when mousing over the camera view. Cameras in independent playback mode are clearly marked with a yellow frame. Once a camera is in independent playback mode, separate playback controls appear. Using these controls, you can easily examine the recordings. You can put as many cameras as you wish in independent playback mode and easily toggle between independent playback and live mode by simply clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner. If you find something interesting that requires a more detailed analysis, you can view all cameras in playback from a given time by simply clicking the synchronized playback icon. This will take you into the playback mode where the time from the independent playback is inherited, as you can see here. Now you can continue the investigation for all cameras in the view. Just as in live mode, you can force one or more cameras into independent playback for detailed investigation of an individual camera sequence. The final function that I will introduce to you is a new industry-breaking capability, the Sequence Explorer. This sets new standards for usability by providing better-than-ever overview of your recordings that really helps in your investigation work and reduces the time needed to produce forensic material. The Sequence Explorer can be launched both in live mode and playback mode, where you can choose to view sequences from a single camera or all cameras in a view. Let's launch the Sequence Explorer for the current view. The Sequence Explorer appears as a new window on top of the actual Smart Client application. You can also move it to a second monitor if available. The Sequence Explorer has three main areas: the thumbnail view that presents the available video sequences, the player that enables you to play back any of the sequences, and the selection area that allows you to control which cameras you want to include in the Explorer view. The video sequences in the thumbnail view are listed in chronological order, and you can easily resize the tiles to fit your particular needs and preferences. When viewing sequences from several cameras, they are shown as thumbnails with legends that inform you which camera each sequence relates to. When investigating an incident, you can easily navigate between the preview sequences either by using the slider or by simply dragging and throwing the thumbnails. This gives you an unbeatable overview of your recordings and an essential entry into the investigation of incidents. At the bottom, you can select which cameras you want to include in the thumbnail view. You can also choose whether you want to view sequences or time intervals. When you find a sequence that you want to investigate closer, simply click that thumbnail and the sequence is played back in the player on the left. When playing back the sequence, you also have all the normal playback controls. Once you have identified the relevant time in that sequence, you can get back to the playback mode of your full view with a simple click. This will give you all cameras in the relevant view synchronized to the time of the identified sequence that you had selected in the Sequence Explorer. I hope you have enjoyed this demo of the new Milestone XProtect Smart Client 5.0. and how it can help you perfect your security operation by providing instant control of your cameras and connected security devices, better overview of your recordings, and enhanced usability through the adaptable user interface, all to improve your experience and efficiency. If you want to know more about XProtect Smart Client 5.0 and Milestone IP video management solutions, please visit us at milestonesys.com.